We are back right now, not soon, trademark. After longer than expected break, we are going to cast Vuptrox versus EUS. I'm back, still joined by Karim. That was a very eventful break that we had.
Get me in, dude. We're SQ1 the pause league, right? I wasn't aware that we're the 30 minutes before the game actually starts league, but we're in for Vuptrox versus EUS, who just we saw getting their rears handed to them, looking to see them finally hop back on their high horse, hopefully delivering a loss to Vuptrox this time around. Now, given that we're already in the draft phase, we can kind of talk about the bans already. Anivia, we were talking with the Vuptrox players before this game actually started, and they were saying that only beta players ban Anivia, so I'm not trying to throw any shade. I'm just saying their perspective, right?
Yeah, you know, we're just handing out the truth as it is.
Yes.
We're not putting any spin on it. We're just saying, you know, what people out there believe. Anyways, as you might have noticed, there's another jungler playing for EUS right now. It's Decor because the last one couldn't play right now. That's again the objective truth. I have different personal theories as to what has happened.
Apparently there were family problems, which the players cannot do anything about, unfortunately. Of course, we don't know if that was the truth, but, well, we kind of have to run with it. But, regardless, it's going to be Dakor playing in that jungle spot now for the side of EUS Anonymous. Hopefully he can do a bit better than Ingex last time around, because it wasn't precisely too, how would you say? Pretty, yes, definitely. We were expecting him to have the highest impact from his team, and unfortunately for him, well, he didn't. He just got super far behind as the Silas against the Fed Rengar playing Kiana. It was a very, very unfortunate game for him, but now, looking to try and make something happen here. Morgana, Jarvan, and Riven being the bans from Vuptrox, still respecting Quoto quite a lot. Dakar also being targeted there, but, well, I think this was said by the casters for the game before this one, which was Vuptrox against... Damn it, was it CBA?
CBA, I think they were playing against CBA.
Yeah, so off-stream, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, we have a YouTube channel with our VOS, youtube.com/SQ1 That's the second time I'm plugging it today. Make sure to go watch that because it's going to be casted. It's going to be there in like 3 days or so. So
yeah,
if you want to see...
4 days, it's safe to say.
Yeah, if you want to see the results of that, just head there and give yourself a treat. There's a lot of games, surprisingly.
Yeah, there are a lot of games. Anyways, we are going with the draft, and I did hear just from you know, some of the higher ups that the draft might be interrupted since the side of EUS were late to the lobby, and they proceeded to keep their bans. However, I'm just gonna go with it. I'm a caster. I'm not an admin. I'm not a rule enforcer or anything. Yeah, okay, there it is. There is the remake.
Yeah, so given that it was EUS taking too long, they took, I think it was 15 minutes too long before they were in the lobby, meaning that they do lose all of the bans for the first ban phase, which means that now we know what are the potential picks for Vuptrox. It was Anivia, Corki, and
what was the last one?
Yeah,
Anivia and I want to say Savior, but I don't remember.
I think that Anivia and Corki are the important ones because we are going to be looking at a heavily focused mid lane composition. I think as Toxi from Vuptrox is one of the most dominant players on that lineup. He is the only player in SQ1 right now that I can recall picking actual pike mid and making him work. I think he was like 10-0 at a certain point against who was it? A bit uncertain right now.
I think Fuzzy Esports.
Possibly, but he did pull it off and he snowballed like hell. Given that he does, however, have other champions inside of his champion pool, he does have something like a Kiana. That's also a pick that we're gonna keep our eyes on. Something like an Anivia, however, once again recalling to the point of the pre-game lobby where only beta players ban Anivia, especially against him, I suppose, hoping that he can have a high-octane gameplay performance there.
Alright, well, something that I did want to bring before this game is where really are Vuptrox in the respective league? Because we have those, top 4 teams, or at least they look like they are the top 4, when Orthus Gaming, CBA, Black Rose Gaming, and the Royal Reapers. And then you've got, the bottom 2 teams like the EUS, Stopwatch, Fuzzy Esports, the teams that are struggling at this point, and I can't remember what other teams. And then, we've got of course, the Phoenix Horizon and Glorious Gaming sitting in the middle, but Vuptrox are pretty much this team that as Viper, I believe, called it, they are the litmus test. Because if you lose against Vuptrox, then you are probably one of the lower teams. If you win against Vuptrox, you are probably one of the higher teams. And what distinguishes them is the consistency at which they win and lose those games, and even the manner in which they do them.
Yeah, you can see that on stream right now. They are 6-6 respectively in their wins and losses, which means that, as you said, they're kind of the test team. However, that is something that they are looking to break out of. That is that formula that they have to kind of not follow if they want to be reaching those playoffs. Of course, as you said, they're right now sitting very happily in the 4th spot, even after the first game that we saw today. So they're still not out of the running, definitely not even in an uncomfortable position. However, now we ran back the draft phase. Ladies and gentlemen, first 3 bans from Vuptrox remaining the same. Pike being hovered, talked about this. No, they're not going to do it.
Yeah, they are baiting us, you know, they heard us say it on stream, and...
Screw you guys, you're mean. You're meanie heads. That's as PG as I can go on this.
Fair enough. Right. Silas is still going to get locked in. That was Karma Ezreal last time in the draft. Could be still run back. And, yeah, we're waiting. Also important to just repeat what is being said in the Twitch chat. A lot of the games are still yet to be played. That is why we are, for example, seeing Vuptrox being fourth with 6 wins and 6 losses, whereas there are, you know, teams who have played less games and are, you know, either below or above them. The standings are very confusing at this point, so I'm just sticking to the number of wins that we have right now.
Right now, I think that Vuptrox have 2 games to play, if I'm correct right now after looking at the standings. SQ1league.com. If you guys want to see the page, there is all sorts of standings and schedules about the teams. There's also literally 1 video on it that you guys can watch, so definitely pay that visit. But now, we should be talking about this draft phase, because no points anymore. Silas and Nivea, 2 picks locked in for Vuptrox Gaming. We talked about this in Nivea quite a lot. Toxi is going to be piloting this champion. It's a champ that can set a lot of good for his team when it comes to mid-game and late-game team fights. However, even in the laning phase, if he's running together with Silas, he can be the setup that the Silas needs to just deliver the killing blow. But maybe it's not going to be Silas delivering the killing blow, as they just lock in themselves that Executioner.
Yeah, they pick up the Draven. You're playing against this Sivir, who need to carry that scales. What are you gonna do? You're gonna go for the early game if you are Vuptrox, locking in that Draven, and Corki locked in for EUS. They are pretty much committing into that hard scaling.
The problem that I have right now is, where is this Karma actually going? Is it going to be top lane, or is it going to be support? Because if it's going to be going into that bot lane, I am going to be having some questions raised when it comes to, can Karma actually stand effectively into Draven? Because her poke isn't necessarily that long ranged, and Draven is always going to be able to trade back. And we all know how oppressive Draven can be if he gets ahead. Now, of course, what's the side of EUS have to do is just ban out the support pool, because if you can get a strong engaged support with Draven going, that's not gonna be the best of showings for you. But they target banned Yumi, which is a champion that did get touched just a tiny bit, but still a very powerful one in the right hands. So, what is it gonna be? They actually got their bans now.
Yeah, they took their 2 last bans. What do they decide to focus on? Is it another support? Well, it is going to be the Pike. I don't think it will go over to Toxi if it would be Pig, just because Anivia is already low there, so why would you play Pike? And Aatrox is going to top of the bans for the side of Vuptrox. They want to remove some of the Kodo's champions, but if he isn't playing the Karma, something like a Mordekaiser is still open.
Oh yeah, Kodo was the, I think, only saving grace for EUS last game that we were watching of them against OG. He actually did well in that lane. He managed to bully the Riven out of that lane, and he was the only one getting those leads very securely. However, it is now going to be him piloting the Karma, which is a champion that can find some of these leads can be really obnoxious in the sense that she won't kill you, you won't kill her, she's gonna always shove you in. So important to see what this top lane pickup will be from Vuptrox. However, I'm really content with Thresh being locked in for EUS, because it means that they want to contest this bot lane at least, at least a tiny bit, try and get this Draven to not snowball as hard.
Alright, Renekton, top lane, Vuptrox, they've got Draven, they've got Renekton. I do get a feeling that the early game might be the name of the game, despite that Anivia being their for Toxi. Well, I'm just gonna wait to see on their last pick. Most
Nautilus.
likely a support Nautilus. It actually
Give
would
me
make a
Nautilus
lot
here.
of sense. I mean, you are playing against this. Okay,
There
you know
we
what?
go.
Just give him the Nautilus.
Yeah, Nautilus is one of the most played champions for Tilt Proof, so it only makes sense that he locks in this one, especially when you put him together with a Draven and against a lane that, you know, doesn't really have the best of ways to try and escape from you. Thresh can only go in, Sivir has just one spell shield, and she cannot spell shield all of your offenses, I was gonna say, but that kind of makes it sound a bit more horrid. So, Kobe is going to be having a little bit of a tough laning phase against this Draven and Nautilus, and it's going to be the same thing everywhere else for the side of EUS outside of mid lane, where it's mostly going to be just a farm fest between Toxi and Whitelings. However, if Krend decides to pay some attention to that lane, it can sway out of the hands of EUS very quickly, but it can be said the same way for the other side, as Dakar does manage to get his hands on that Zac. Remember everyone, this is an emergency sub, so the comms can be a bit rusty at times. Possibly, we kind of have to see him, however, step up and get some leads for his team.
However, what lane would you really be focusing on? Because if I look at the lanes of EUS, they don't seem to be winning. That's how I'm going to be putting it. I mean, mid lane is kind of hard to say who will win out of Anivia and Corki, but Carmine to Renekton, definitely not a favorable matchup. Sivir thrashing to Draven Nautilus, I'm not gonna place my bets there either. So what are you really going to do as Dakar?
Ooh, what we can do? So, whenever I look at what you can actually do, it comes heavily to, first of all, does the jungler have setup himself? Because if so, he can focus on more lanes than just those with setup, right? Second one is, does he actually have a lot of damage, which Zac kind of meets both of those in the early game, and it does mean that he can affect a lot of these lanes. Anivia is running the Ignite. Toxi isn't going for anything like the cleanse because, of course, he's going to be facing the knockup from Zac, and that's the only CC, so it wouldn't make sense for him. However, he is running the offensive summoner, and so Dakar can go to that mid lane. He can try and get this Corki snowballing. And I know that I said that the bot lane of EUS was going to struggle, but even there, if Thresh hits a good hook on Draven, remember, it's still just an AD carry. He's still very squishy. Until he gets snowballing, you can very easily kill him. So either mid lane or bot lane, I think, is going to be the name of the game for Dakar, because if you can put this Draven behind, you're gonna have a much easier game than you would be having otherwise.
It's always something to keep your eyes on. I'm gonna call it the potential to shut him down, because it's not much more than that. It's just a possibility that is going to be insanely difficult for anyone to pull off. And after, you know, EUS, they suffered a devastating loss. I really don't think there is an adjective that describes it properly. Their morale might be slightly down.
A quick loss, come on, please be a bit nice to them. Jesus Christ, hopefully they don't go through these walls again. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, you see it on your screen, so please do vote in the Twitch chat right now who you think is going to be taking this game. Between Vuptrox Gaming, are they actually Vuptrox Gaming? Academy, damn. I'm bad, apparently. But between Vuptrox Academy and Europe Saviors Academy as well?
No, Europe Saviors Anonymous.
Anonymous, oh my god, because...
It's both A words, you know?
I was looking at our caster document that we have, that we prepare with for the matches, and there is like a
quick
we prepare
for the matches?
No, I mean, we always just go in blind and we just talk for like 10 minutes during a pause. That's what you do here. But there is a quick summary of all matches and who won them, and there is always EUSA, so I just kind of presumed it was Academy, but no, it's Anonymous. It's the Spaniards, the hotheads.
Yes.
And so far, they haven't precisely shown us any great feats. Hopefully they're going to be changing it this time around. They're going to be, however, facing an early game composition once again, and so far what we've seen from them is that these solo laners do like to overextend quite a bit, and that they are actually very bad at trying to handle the jungle pressure that they are faced with. The one game that they did manage to win, or that they did actually relatively well in against CBA, was when Ingix was the guy running the show, and when their opposing jungler wasn't really getting anything happening on the map. So I think trying to inhibit Silas right now is a little bit of a tough task for Dakor, given that he is running the Zac. But they just have to try and track him. Make sure to keep your wards in the river, in the brushes, and make sure to keep your eye on the mini map the entire game. Because if you don't know where the enemy jungler is, you should not be pushing. You should not be under the enemy turret.
Fair enough, as we are going to be... That's my analysis on your point. I'm just going to, no,
I'm just laughing at the fact that you're on the other end of the room.
I was facing away from the mic.
Oh my god, okay.
It does make a difference, you see?
Right? Yeah, it's difficult to be casting, guys. I'm sorry.
I know.
If anyone wants to apply for a casting job, I think we're gonna be getting fined and kicked after these 2 games, so you know.
Yeah, we definitely are.
They're
going to be the spots open.
Yeah, you can cast finals of OG versus Royal Reapers. It's gonna be fun. That's a bold
Okay,
statement.
we should need to stop going anyways. Yeah. The game is going to be up
soon.
very
trademark, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully soon anyway. Now, we are on Summoner's Rift. No pauses. Fingers crossed. Please. Alright, seems like there's gonna be no pauses, so hey.
Yeah, you are getting flamed for that in the Twitch chat. I just want to make sure you know that. Yes.
Come on. Wait, what am I actually getting flamed for there?
Calling the finals. Anyways.
Ah, god damn it.
Yeah, we are in the Summoner's Rift.
I'm sorry, I spoiled the script. I'm sorry, everyone. Yeah, it's no.
Yeah.
Horizontal lines!
Yes, we are really losing our sanity here right now. Well, Dakor in the mid lane, he takes damage from the chain lash by Quendi. Not much more is really going on.
And not much just yet, of course. Yeah. Yes, do go on, please.
No, I was just going to justify us by saying that we did wait really long time for this game.
Yeah, we did. Our sanity is already frail enough, okay? You guys gotta cut us some slack, but we have League of Legends to watch and to cast for you all lovely folk out there, so hopefully it's gonna be a good game. Horizontal line, there is a potential for Europe Anonymous to be going for something, given that they do have the Thresh, but instead nothing like that is going to happen. Tiltproof could have also been utilizing the fact that he is a Nautilus and a very, very beefy boy with a lot of crowd control in the early game to try and find some invade, but nothing like that is going to happen, as both of the junglers are on the bottom side of the map. Going to see if it's going to be the same situation as last time around, where both junglers just went for a full clear bot side and then roamed over to top lane. Can be the potential, but given that Dakor likely wants to play around the bottom side of the map to try and make sure that Kren doesn't just get his bot lane ahead, might not be the best of options.
It might not really be a pretty slow start to the game. Of course, we do see Retromaster and Tiltproof just shoving that bot lane, exercise the power. Actually, Colbjorn didn't pick up any CS from that first wave. I wonder how that happened, but I would just assume it's Draven things.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Draven and Nautilus are always going to be dictating the pace of this bot lane, even though they do manage to get that second level after side of the EUS, get it?
Okay, well, there's the hook onto Miguel. He does throw out the death sentence, goes wide, and that's going to be a trade in favor of the Vuptrox Academy's bot lane.
Yeah, so, good trade there, of course, from Vuptrox, already asserting their dominance in that bot lane. As soon as Nautilus manages to hit that hook, it's almost over, because as Sealer, you kind of have to dodge it, and if you leave Thresh stranded, he isn't tanky that much in the early game. He isn't like Alistar or even Nautilus at this point. He's relatively squishy, so he's always going to be struggling whenever he's right next in hand-to-hand combat with them. As top lane, Kato is just trading, and this is so fun!
Yeah, this is not
to run down.
Renekton is supposed to be a lane bully. But, you know, Karma apparently cannot lose the lane. I think I get what it means, finally. I get to see how Karma cannot lose the lane, and...
yeah. And she kind of can, but it always requires external help in that top lane. Possibly can be the case for Krent to just run in there and ram himself into this Karma, because Karma, as soon as she is locked down, she is very, very squishy. The biggest annoying factor of her is that she just gets so much move speed, she gets so many shields, that she just always out-kites you. So, as long as you manage to get on top of her, you should be fine. Death sentence lands, but Nautilus is there to protect his precious Retromaster.
It's still a good hook from McWelly landing onto the Draven. At least trying to alleviate some of the pressure coming down from this ball lane, because this is really the lane that the side of Vuptrox Academy will be looking to play through us. That's the dredge line onto McWelly. He flies tilt-proof away. Colbium is looking to dish out some of the damage, and I mean, Silver Thresh are not really supposed to win this lane, so at least it's good to see that EUS are trying.
Yeah, right now they actually aren't falling too terribly behind on CS. However, there is almost a 10 deficit for Silver right now, so it is prone to change as the amount of engage that these guys just have. Thresh can jump on top of this. Is dangerous.
That is a good hook. The ignite as down onto Retromaster. He's losing health so damn fast. That's a flash forward from Corbius. He picks up the first blood in the ball lane of Death. However, now Tilted looking to trade back. He gets the first kill. McWelly is solo, and it's a double for Tilt Proof.
That was such a wonderful death sentence there from Thresh, managing to lock Retromaster down, inhibiting the amount of damage output that Vuptrox's bot lane would be able to generate. But it didn't matter. It's still Nautilus, a champion designed to be going into the top lane, so he has a lot of base damage, and he just 1v2s Sivir and Thresh, securing himself the first 2 kills, or the second part of the first 3 kills of the game.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Retromaster... I just realized I started the sentence with "yeah, you know," and I feel very ashamed. I'm sorry.
No, don't worry.
Anyways, Retromaster still got a BF solo on his recall. This is good for him. The 2 assists gave him enough gold that he will still be hitting like a truck. And moving into top lane, Kodo does manage to get the root onto Rundown. He doesn't have the mana, as you said, but Rundown kind of doesn't have his cooldowns and health. So not much more will happen in that top lane.
Yeah, however, what you saw there was exactly what I talked about when you do manage to get on Karma without her having the tools to actually run away, which is that Rundown can still kill her. He has a lot of damage, as does Renekton. Kodo does manage to get level 6, and Rundown is forced to flash, however, so there are going to be no leads developing from Vuptrox in that lane, at least just for now.
Tiltproof is looking for that brush. The hook from McWell, he actually does connect onto Crandy. Here comes Dapper flying forward with the elastic single, brings back Tiltproof with those stretching strikes. The teleport is going to be child counter teleport as well. It was cancelled. Dapper is hooked back. He has to flash away. He's very low. He has the passive. How long can he stay alive? That's a good play for McWelly. Like he might sacrifice his life as Crandy picks up the kill. That's going to be Vuptrox with 3.
Crucial cancel of the Corky teleport. I didn't actually see what happened, but I assume that Toxie just ran over him with the Q. Trendy jumps in, gets the Zac passive down. Probably has to help him here.
Missiles have been pulled in Colbiums. He's going to be able to zone it. Trendy maybe can go for the kill. One last auto attack to finish it off, and that was just an overextension, unnecessary from Vuptrox Academy, but EUS able to capitalize on it.
Yeah, the wave wasn't in a position for the bot lane of Vuptrox to actually help the Silas, and so he just kind of needlessly gave his life away, but it doesn't matter. The leads have been found, however, they did trade him. 2 kills now, sitting on a Kobe, and already the lineup of EUS is already sitting in a much healthier spot than last time around, and given that this Sivir is just going to be scaling, it's always nice to be getting these early kills on your main damage dealer.
And you've got 2-1-0 compared to 0-1-3. The item's still very slightly in favor of Retromaster, but that could change. What I am looking at, though, is whether Crandy will be able to do anything with that 1 kill he has on Silas. A 30 snowball champion, not super hard snowball, but if you utilize him well into the jungle, you can pretty much single-handedly carry games.
And there was a point made when this patch hit about Silas, that essentially, given that they did change the amount of the shield that he gets from his E, there were some thoughts that it would actually hurt his clear speed, making it much less healthy, as he wouldn't be shielded from the damage that the minions would, that the jungle creeps would be giving him. But clearly, the damage buff on the Q was enough for him to be sustaining himself.
Oh my goodness, Toxie in the mid lane.
That was toxic.
That was a great trade onto White Lynx. He pretty much forces him to recall and lose a wave, and that's what you want to see from Vuptrox Academy. We talked about them, about being this mid-tier team, and they aren't playing against a top-tier team. That's supportal combat.
Yeah, that was a supportal
It's all
combat.
about asserting the dominance.
It sounds like a really wholesome game, supportal combat. It's like 2 people yelling compliments at each other. I would love to see this. but it's not the case. Regardless, Zaki's in the top lane. Redno jumps in. He's turning this one around, oh my god.
Rundown has got the dominance, well, not enough in the end. Dako uses the Let's Bounce and secures that kill.
Alright, so wasn't enough, in fact. Renekton did dash in. He didn't actually know that Dako was in that top lane rush. He didn't actually have vision there, which is a little bit of a mistake if you're going to be going for these kinds of plays, but it was reasonable simply because he was sitting on his own half of the lane, and so he presumed that, well, I'm not pushing right now, I don't have to have it warded. Clearly, you're playing into a Zac who can be dashing over walls, and he can be dashing from essentially anywhere, and so this Renekton pays with his life, giving that one kill to the Zac, which isn't going to be too detrimental, but still not a situation that you want to be really facing if you're trying to snowball.
Now if you look at White Lynx, he picked up that Hex Drinker against Toxic to try and survive that lane, because something else we didn't really mention is Electrocute on Anivia. You are going for the full damage option as now. That was a great Flash Frost into the hook from the Nautilus. Miguel will still survive, but has to utilize his flash to do so.
And fun fact, this is the second situation when Toxi wasn't actually able to secure a kill.
Oh,
Proof gets it for him. That's fair. To turn to my point, Toxi is actually running an Ignite. Come on, let me talk, Retromaster.
No, Retromaster looking for the kill. That was a great spell shot, but Krendy will save the day.
Alright.
Gets that shut down to his name, and the gold is still even.
He's slapping. He's having a good time. The gold is relatively even, given the 3 kills on EUS. There's a dive coming through.
Here comes Dako onto Randall. That's when Renekton is not having a good time at all. Kodo getting that kill, and so much action all across the map. I guess we were warned, since the casters who did the Vuptrox CBA game did say that there was a lot of early game action, but man, I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah, already. It's not even a fiesta, it's just 2 teams playing through different sides of the map. However, the problem that I am having right now is, do you actually want to snowball your karma? And I would often answer no, because, you know, she's not a champion that really deals all the damage. You want to be getting these kills on your crucial carries, like that Sivir, like that Corki. As speaking about Corki,
yeah, Miguel in the middle, he lands the hook, he throws on the box, the Ignite down to Toxic, he doesn't have the mana. The Missile Barrage will put him down into Rebirth. Can they secure the kill? Fly back into the tide. Here comes the Elastic Snake Shot. Toxic is still alive. What? He is getting blocked by the minions. And Toxic gets the kill and survives.
Minions MVP, ladies and gentlemen. Corki wasn't able to get that kill in the end. And now, Silas is there to even the odds out a tiny bit. Nautilus is there as well. This Sivir is just gone.
Yeah, Corki is not having a good time. That's a 4-0-1 Nautilus for Tiltproof. Vuptrox Academy, they're just doing whatever they want with the game right now. That was a close.
That was clean. That was like a cinematic shot. Yeah, that was wonderful. Two chains just missing as he flies away from the danger. This Zaki boy. Dakar actually has been playing really well around his top side, but once again, I kind of have to point out this Corki is sitting on no kills, and we have seen how much damage Toxi already has. He's going to be always able to just whiff clear and go and roam, which isn't something that you expect from a kind of an immobile mage. But given that you can just keep the wave pushed in constantly against this Corki, it's a prospect that you have to be aware of, as Kodo is just... He's ranked.
Yeah, he is absolutely playing with Randall as we have a fight happening in the topside jungle around that Herald. Tiltproof losing a lot of HP. He has a shutdown, he has 4 kills. Can White Lynx find the kill? The answer is no. Here comes Toxic, he finds the stun. McWelling is caught by the Crystallized. Colbins is next. That's a double for Retromaster. Flash away from White Lynx. He needs to get the hell out of here. But the chase keep him in place. Krendy picks up the kill. It's gonna be one back for EUS, but Vuptrox find the 3-for-1 fight.
Oh, the jungle, the almighty jungle where the Anivia sleeps tonight. If you're trying to fight in closed-off corridors, definitely do it when there isn't an Anivia on the enemy team. Toxi came up absolutely huge in that fight, and Retromaster just came up to sweep those kills for himself like a vacuum cleaner. 2 kills now on this Draven. I actually have to check how much bounty he cashed in on. Right now, he is going to be sitting on 1700 gold, which is pretty lovely. No time to talk, as in the mid lane, Toxi's in a
He doesn't have his passive, he sidesteps the hook, nice footwork there. He doesn't have his team, but EUS do not know that. They don't continue with the chase, they have no vision, and Toxi gets out.
That was very fancy footwork there from Toxi. I really like that. Really good dodges there from the death sentence of the mid laner of Vuptrox. Really showing why he needed the respect to be given in that ban phase. Unfortunately, once again, for those just tuning in, Kobe is gonna die, but that's another story.
He actually isn't.
He actually isn't. EUS lost their first phase bans because they did arrive late with their sub-in jungler Dakor into the lobby, so an unfortunate situation. They weren't able to ban out any of the priority picks for Vuptrox, so now they're kind of reaping the non-benefits.
Anti-benefits, let's just call it.
Anti-benefits, nice, okay. Toxi has a lot of damage, I think we've already kind of assumed that at this point, and I want to see what Vuptrox can do when it comes to pure 5v5, because they not only have good engage potential just to be going for picks in tilt proof, they also have good 5v5. They have Toxi and they have frontline and tilt proof and Krent as well as rundown, so they actually have the better 5v5 composition in the early to mid game when it comes to comparing them to EUS. They also have
Migueli is looking for place, doesn't find anything. Well, now White Lynx is going to get hit by tilt proof. The ultimate has been hijacked from Kodo, and he is going to get that Inspire Flash for tilt proof. Gets another hook. This time not going to do the comeback. Here comes Dakor flying, cashes in on the big shutdown. Let's bounce into the entire team. Finds the big knockup tower. Is there enough damage to fall out? Kodo is still alive. Run down into the entire team with that Dominus and Flash. It ends up being a 1-for-1. The supports traded, and now the cells have been popped. Dakor will most likely drop here. The glitch. Oh no, the teleport from Kodo will save his jungler for the time being. No, it's a shutdown, and the shield saves Dakor. Retro Master overextends underneath that tower, and now White Lynx and Migueli are looking for the chase. Crandy in the jungle, the flight, the hook goes wide, the chase forward. Crandy is going to get taken down. White Lynx goes on a killing spree, and EUS win a fight.
European Saviors Anonymous finding the clutch fight when they really need to. White Lynx is gonna fall here, but that's just one overextension to be paying for that entire beautiful fight. The side of Vuptrox just kept on going forward, pressing that right click, not realizing that they aren't so insanely had to be dissuaded by the damage. However, Miguel, he's been overextending quite a lot this game, and that's not something that you want when you're facing a Draven and a Nautilus.
Definitely not, and let's take a look at who are the big members. Definitely Toxi, and I'm gonna say Retro Master question mark, since he is technically on a Bloodthirster, but he hasn't been the pop-up member for the side of Vuptrox Academy.
So right now you would be expecting Draven to be doing most of that work, but what Draven actually really shines in is pure 1v1s and skirmishes like these, where he can utilize the full potential of his single target focused damage. So right now it seems like he isn't doing a lot, but trust me, he still has the damage. It's just that Toxi absolutely outshines him in so many of these 5v5 engages. As Vuptrox, they're just running about grouped up together trying to get these big team fights, which is exactly what Anivia is built for. So even that he is going to be sitting on damn, I just forgot, on Scepter. No, what's the name of the Archangel staff upgraded? Damn. Seraph's Embrace.
Yes.
There. He is going to be dealing even more damage than right now, and I think he is the guy that we have to look out for when it comes to Vuptrox, to who's going to be dealing the most damage.
White Lynx is gonna have the depth charge launched onto him. Flash forward from Crandy. He gets the root, but the lantern is so damn good. The Sando from Toxi, he's looking to get one back. Migueli drops down. That's a double knockup from Dakor. He's looking for the engage. Let's bounce has been issued, but Crandy has so much backline damage. Retro Master picks up Kobe with that whirling death. That's two members of the EUS falling down.
Yeah, and as I said, Retro Master still has a lot of damage on this Draven. Exactly what he showed there after just soloing Coburns out of that fight. Right now, it looks, the situation looks dire for Karma to get jumped on top of.
Although he cannot get out behind that wall. Toxi is on a killing spree. His passive is going to be popped. And I just wanted to say that if EUS get a 5v5 prolonged fight, they might win. Vuptrox aren't going to give them that. They go for the pigs, they blow up single members, and now they are looking to well, at least threaten that inhibitor turret.
Yeah, so the situation for EUS is that once again they have fallen quite behind, but the Baron buff isn't spawned just yet. And this time around they have a legitimate chance of trying to fight them. Not like this though.
Belly is going to die. Toxie is on a rampage. Dako is stuck behind enemy lines without his ultimate, without his flash, as EUS conceding 2 more kills, and I feel like it is just unnecessary mistakes at this point.
Miguel really not having his best of games right now, overstepping quite a lot. The problem is, this he could possibly get away from, but given that he is playing into Anivia as well as Nautilus, there is no room for mistakes here. You cannot be going this aggressive when you know that the enemy team has just exited its top lane after a successful fight, when you know that they're more strong, when you know they're stronger than you. Damn it, it's difficult to talk. But he just gets caught out and dies, unfortunately. So right now, EUS, they're going to be having it a lot more difficult than just the Miguel himself as they try to contest all of this vision. I don't think there's going to be a vision dance around the Baron pit.
It's going to be vision domination and picks coming left, right, and center. For Vuptrox, that was a close dredge line. Miguel nearly eating that one in his face. He definitely wouldn't have liked that. Now, 2 items completed with that Seraph's Embrace for Toxie. He has the Void Staff on top of it, and that's 20 minutes only.
Yeah, and that's essentially true damage that he's going to be dealing to all of these members with that Void Staff, so he's going to be an absolute menace in every single team fight. We also have to look at Retromaster, who's still sitting just on that Buttresser, but he also now has a BF Sword and a pickaxe, which is going to mean that he's still going to be quite the big scary in every single team fight. The only champion that really isn't popping off on the side of Vuptrox Gaming is Rundown on this Renekton, which is kind of acceptable given that he was playing into a Karma, and in the team fights he doesn't really thrive. He really just turns into a CC lockdown bot. However, now perhaps he can have some more impact as he just grouped up with his team in that bot lane trying to get his tier 2 turret.
Although he's standing forward, just wave clearing as much as he can. Vuptrox Academy though, 4 members strong. The Baron is up for a medal already. They aren't really too interested, it seems like, in securing vision around it.
Not just yet.
And as I say that, they go.
Yeah, I mean, they could have been going for that much faster. You're absolutely right. They were trying to pitch for some picks, is what I'm assuming. They don't want to be throwing this, I'm not even going to say 50-50, like a 40 and 70, I think is the case here for them. They just want to make sure that it's all perfectly set up. They were trying to get that last inner turret in that bot lane to try and kind of pull the side of the EUS away from the Baron pit, I assume. Now they're going on the rotation as we do enter a pause. I was kind of hoping. Right. I was kind of hoping that we wouldn't be in this position once again.
Alright, I want to now talk late game.
Yes.
Do EUS outscale? In team fights. I'm gonna narrow it down.
That's a difficult question because generally you wouldn't really be giving the late game to Vuptrox just because they have one late game carry. But the problem is this Anivia has such a good front line to be playing from behind, and if Vuptrox keep on playing like this, if they keep on playing in the jungle, Anivia is almost always going to having the better position than the side of EUS. As I say that, he gets caught out, or sorry, Kudzu gets caught out. And then Anivia wasn't even there, so I'm not sure why I was talking about that. But the side of EUS, they have a lot more kind of AoE damage. They have the Sivir, they have the Corki, so they're not absolutely defenseless in the late game if it does come to that, but they're still not going to be having an easy piece of cake when it comes to trying to shred through Vuptrox in a pure 5v5, assuming that the roles would be even.
We are getting the Baron vision dance, it seems like. The side of EUS now walking in, placing their wards. They will need to retreat because they don't have the waves, and now Vuptrox Academy walk in, destroy the wards, and we might be seeing that for the next few minutes, unless of course there will be a big pick coming from the side of Vuptrox Academy, or maybe even, who knows, maybe EUS finds something. It is looking unlikely for the time being, but Corki and Sivir do scale nicely into the late.
Oh yeah. And whenever you see Miguel actually hit a hook on that Thresh, it does mean that it is a potential pick. Whenever you manage to catch a member out of position from Vuptrox, it can quickly turn into a favorable team fight for you, but Unfortunately for them, that just hasn't been the case because it's always been Vuptrox playing this week. It's always been them playing proactively, and right now they're looking to put the nail in the coffin when it comes to proactive play as they're starting the Baron and it's just going down so fast.
Right, Dako isn't in the range. He's trying to fly into the pitch. He goes in. Oh! He steals the Baron. Dako, he fell fast over the wall, but it doesn't matter. He manages to deny the Nasher from the side of Vuptrox Academy, and he's gonna give some hope to EUS Anonymous this game.
How do you even analyze that? That was just beautiful. Dakor jumped into the Baron pit from the tip of his range on that elastic slingshot, gets in the pit, gets the perfect smite down, and secures kind of the game essentially, because I'm a bit unsure if it would be EUS able to hold off the constant barrage of Baron empowered minions of Vuptrox Academy. So definitely at least extending their lifespan, if not turning this game around. We kind of have to still wait for that one, but right now, EUS, they do have a fighting chance.
Very much do. Miguel missing that hook. He's gonna get hit back. The shield is there, but not enough. Oxy is still dominating. The Baron does help EUS Anonymous. No doubt, if they lose that, they lose at the very least their inhibitor, and we all know how games tend to go from there. Now, they are still standing alive, but it is a very tough task.
Definitely is. They do have, however, weight clear because they do have the Corki, they do have the Sivir, but right now they're not looking to try and defend the inner turret, which is acceptable because they, as you said, they kind of have to keep those inhibitors alive. That's the biggest goal for them right now. And luckily for them, they don't have to be worrying about a super strong side lane presence, which would run down me. So at least they just have to be putting all of their members into one lane instead of another one, so they can concentrate all of their forces and just wave through and wave through away.
Fourth elemental Drake picked up by Vuptrox Academy, and it seems like a strike of luck for the side of EUS Anonymous, because none of them are Infernals, so you aren't going to be giving that any of the bonus AP. Saying that, Toxie just picks up the double needlessly large rods. So
oh no.
He's still going to be hurting you, despite the fact that there are no Infernals.
Oh no, Toxie. That's going to be disgusting. As soon as he gets his hands on that Rabadon, that's just going to be blowing this game out of proportions, honestly. So, as soon as that happens, well, Toxie is going to be even a bigger threat. And I think that's interesting about this game, and also terrifying if you're an EUS fan, because Toxie has already been such a huge influence on every single team fight just because Vuptrox Academy have been finding these picks, and he has always been there to follow up on them, and that situation is only going to get more scary for you. This guy is still scaling, he's still going to be even more powerful as we enter late game, so definitely not too healthy of a situation for EUS.
They have to hope to hit those multiple items on Corki and Sivir, and we're probably talking 3 to 4 items on each before it starts to be an overwhelming factor. But even then, the Nvidia scales not indefinitely, but 6 items is where you're looking at, most likely for Toxie. So it's gonna be all about the execution. Talking about execution, run down, looking to get the kill onto Kodo, forces the flash, teleports are going to be channeled, just a singular teleport now. Crandy looking to escape his slowdown, flash hook, connects! Miguel lining the big one, he throws down the box as well, right now looking to go onto the Kodo Makey. Crandy is still alive, he's healing up, the Ignite is finally going to take him as it's a shutdown picked up by Kodo. Here comes Toxie though, from the jungle, Covians is going to be spell shielding that stun, it doesn't matter! Toxie is still gone, like, one down, he's still alive as you said, but that should be the end of him. Shutdown picked up by Migueli. It is a 2-for-1 in favor of EUS Anonymous.
I don't know how the Thresh and Karma managed to survive that one, but apparently they did. They did manage to survive the onslaught of Vuptrox Academy, but not even a but. They just managed to survive, and nothing was given to the enemy team as a result, so just a really nice play, and it just goes to show that Rundown does not have control over the side lane. In fact, it's this Karma. And I said that she isn't going to be killing you and she isn't going to be killed, but clearly, if she gets someone to work in tandem with her, she can kill you.
Okay, well, Toxie completed the death cap, 543 AP.
Oh god. Yeah.
There is some magic resistance on the Hex Drinker for White Links. That's about it though. I don't like where this is going for EUS Anonymous.
Yeah, I mean, right now Zach is itemizing heavily into the magic resist. I just saw that he has Ionian Boots of Lucidity.
Yeah, Pineys did point it out in the Twitch chat before.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see it.
It's okay. I mean, we're meant to be casting. I just keep looking at the Twitch chat for no reason.
That's interesting, though. Not sure what the real thought there was. It does give him some more cooldown reduction, I suppose. I mean, can be that. Now, it seems that it's Krent that wants to be going in. However, given that it's Silas and he doesn't really have too many great ultimates to be stealing from that range, it's just fine. The problem is, Silas is also scaling really well as soon as he hits that level 16, level 3 ulti. Becomes a really big problem, as he's just going to be having it up constantly. And there are some good ultimates that he can steal, most notably that Zac ulti, and the Sivir ulti. Outside of that, there is mostly just poke, and yeah, not much else for him to steal, so hey, silver lining, right?
Very much so, as the next Baron will be up in a couple of seconds. I was gonna say he might get cut out in the jungle, but he's just, taking a stroll. It's a gentleman's agreement. EUS don't have the damage, and Tilproof can't be asked to go in.
It's very nicely put. Very nicely put.
Yeah.
Yeah, and things have kind of stabilized simply because of Vuptrox. They're not forcing anything. Looks like they were just waiting for the next Baron to spawn, which is going to be the main point of focus right now. They're not hopefully going to be taking any chances. However, Corki and Zach are already coming close to the pit. Krend wasn't even near that, and is it just me? Or do Vuptrox not know how to really secure a Baron? Because this is already the second situation where they don't really seem to know how to properly secure the Baron pit before actually going for it, and it just results in the game stalling out a lot. And if this just keeps on going this way, it can mean that the side of EUS are going to be allowed to scale. Sivir is already going to be slowly working away to the third item, so the potential is there.
Alright, Dakar, can he pull off the stealing? And you see Vuptrox, they are careful, they are not giving over any advantages. Instead, they pick up the 5th Elemental Dragon. The safe objective, the next one is going to be Elder. It's going to be massive on Toxie's Anivia. And now Tilburg is trying to run down Kodo, and that is a 1 versus 3. Karma just doesn't survive and run down. It's going to be the one to secure the kill.
Okay, what are Vuptrox going to do now? Are they just going to barrel down mid lane, or are they going to go to that Baron? Because they are still going to be facing the potential of Dekor jumping in and stealing it, but given that it's always now going to be a 5v4 fight, the chances that that a successful fight comes from EUS is just much lower. So if he just decides to go for that Baron, his friend sitting behind in that pit, Rush does come about, but Zach isn't in range. Or he is actually. He's in.
Yeah, he can look to get in. The teleport is being channeled. Where is it being channeled to? Behind the pit. Dakor is still within the range. He goes into the pit. He doesn't get it. This time it's secured by Retro Master. And the cells have been popped. Quendy is gonna go into the stopwatch. Most likely gonna die. The teleport will save Dakor. Flash hook. Miguel goes into the pit. Retro Master takes the kill to Dakor. And here comes White Links. Can't he get the damage out? Foxy is in the pit doing everything. Kodo teleports in. Kodos is flashing forward. What is going on? EUS Anonymous. They're desperate to win this fight, but do they have what it takes? Retro Master still alive, taken down by White Links. The egg is not going to respawn. EUS Anonymous pick up an ace.
Oh my god, this game is just turning into an absolute fiesta. I said that it wasn't going to be EUS Anonymous with a good chance at winning an initial fight, but they do. Kodo does manage to get soloed down at the beginning, but he then channels his TP, and with Rundown getting caught behind the pit, allowing Dekar to just jump into it safely, there was a pure 4v5 that Vuptrox Academy were fighting. And well, you now have a Corki sitting on a Triforce and a Rapid Fire Cannon. You cannot count him out of any single team fight that the side of the US go for. And even Kodo sitting with a Moral Nomicon is going to be dealing quite a lot of damage. And so an almost flawless team fight comes through from EUS, giving themselves the precious minutes that they need to just scale.
And I feel like what we just saw is the kind of team fight that the side of EUS will be better at. It is when you can play that front to back, when your Corki Sivir can dish out the damage, and then your Karma can keep everyone alive. That's the crucial part. Because yes, Toxie's consistent damage is going to be insane. Have a Retro Master, the Draven in the late game will not be able to match the Sivir. Renekton, you're just looking at a regular tank, and whereas Krendy, I guess if he gets the right target, he's going for AP. He's going to blow up if he gets the target hit.
And there was a question in the Twitch chat who actually got the gold from that shutdown that Toxie was sitting on. In fact, it was Sivir. It was Sivir that picked up the full 1,000 gold, and she did manage to secure her 4th item from it. So the forces right now between these two teams are in fact evened out. This Sivir is going to start taking over in these teamfights together with the Corki, but Vuptrox, they're just trying to barrel down the base of EUS. They have to start doing something because eventually Draven is going to fall off, and there isn't going to be much that they can do outside of trying to keep Toxie alive.
Something important is that Colbierns, he has been able to keep even in gold with, well, everyone. The person with the most gold in the game is Retro Master. He is, well, technically 500 behind, which means nothing at this minute. He has nearly as much gold as Toxie. That Sivir is going to be huge. We said it already. I'm gonna say it again. 4 items. Just wait for their 5th one. So far, he's holding on to those control words. But once he gets enough gold, he's going to be shredding the side of Vuptrox Academy.
Yeah, and he's actually been playing this well as Sivir, which is literally that he just wants to be sitting in a side lane, just farming away. And given that Vuptrox haven't actually managed to siege down these inhibitors just yet, there wasn't actually anything that they managed to do with those waves, so they just sent them in for Colbierns to just farm them up, no questions asked, no problems, and now he's sitting on almost 300 CS already, which is a very healthy state for Sivir to be in, so he's actually benefiting from Vuptrox not really committing to any single fight.
Very much so, and something very important to also point out, the base of EUS Anonymous hasn't been broken. However, now that I say that, Dako is caught out by the Dark. Look at his health. He's just popping. Retro Master is cutting him through. Toxie is going to be the one to receive the kill, as Rundown is now going to be the next target. Elder Dragon is up. No smite for EUS. That's 5 Drakes. If Vuptrox Academy get it, they are so damn close to winning this game. And yeah, it's gone.
It's over. Well, the Drake is over, of course. Elder Drake. Every single stat that Vuptrox Academy got from the Drakes is now amplified.
Although he uses the flash, is gonna get the movement speed instead. That is 5 stacks. There is no tank you can build against it. Doesn't matter if the Dako is up. You saw what happened without the Elder Drake. It's gonna be even faster. When Toxie throws down the Glacial Storm, everyone inside dies, and there's nothing you're gonna do about it as the hook is going to connect Kodo. He's trying to stay alive. The redemption is going to be thrown down as the White Lynx is trying to get to the back. That is a big engage from Dako. That isn't enough though, because Retro Master is trying to 1v1 the White Lynx. He picks him out. Corvus is looking to do anything at all, but he's just going to fall. There is no more damage on the EUS. The carries are down. Can they hold on in this moment of truth? Kodo is going to supply enough damage. That is a double for Dako, and somehow EUS actually managed to win this fight.
Oh, you
well, Toxie is still alive.
I mean, he's still alive. He's just hammering away on this inhibitor, but you said there is no damage on Kodo. There's no more health on him either. Yeah,
Toxie's on a killing streak. He still has the egg. Dako trying to interrupt him, but he doesn't have what it takes. It's actually still 20. It's still 20 seconds. Does Toxie have enough to finish the game?
Well, it looks like he might just be able to. Okay, 14 seconds on that Corki. Can he just get these turrets down super
10
quickly?
seconds on Migueli. If he can throw himself and die, that would be good enough. It's still 5 seconds. The Olodak come through. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, Migueli is alive. The Glacial Storm will slow his advance. White Lynx is coming through Toxie. He still has the egg. He uses the Zonias. The Nexus is on half health. However, the players have been responding. It was close, but it was not enough.
EUS managed to keep themselves in this game by the skin of their teeth. Nexus turret exposed. No ward, however, there for anyone like Rundown to TP onto, so right now the side of EUS don't have to worry about a backdoor just yet.
There is one on the peripheries of the base. It's not
there?
well in the base, but there is one.
Oh, that's bad. Okay, never mind. So the potential for a backdoor definitely is there, but that was a super messy fight. Rundown is going on top of Cobeers right now.
That was a great spell shield and a flash to keep himself safe, but now that summoner is not available. Tucker looking to get the pick onto tilt, prove he's gonna get that dredge line to the wall and to the safety. Another elastic slingshot from Tucker. He looks to continue the engage. The hook goes wide, here comes Quenty. Toxie is still not alive, and the fight is in full swing. Cobians is down. White Leg is gonna be next target. He needs to step up massively, but has already 2 kills in favor of Vuptrox Academy. The chase from Quenty. They're gonna knock him down. White Lynx is dead. Kodo now is going to join the fray, but that's 3 picks in favor of Vuptrox Academy, and the teleports into the base. They will be looking to end the game. Only 2 people to stop them, and I don't think they have what it takes. If the full might of Vuptrox Academy are barreling down the base, it is Kodo, as you said. Can this Karma solo carry this game? Because Dakar is still alive. The heals actually keeping him very healthy, and he keeps being alive. But look at Rundown. He's left alone on the Nexus, and that's for 39 minutes. Vuptrox Academy take the win.
You know what they say, Kachka? Best things take their time. We waited for 15 minutes in the pregame lobby, then we waited for some in the game. But man, what a showing this has been. What a roller coaster of emotions. Vuptrox almost looking like they were going to be giving this game to the side of EUS. It looked like they perhaps were just going to get outscaled eventually. Kodo with some heroic plays from the top laner. It almost makes me feel sad for EUS because they definitely did put on their best carry shoes, but in the end it wasn't enough. Vuptrox Academy did just get that far ahead, and they weren't able to lose that one, as we perhaps could have expected them to. But well, they do secure their 7th victory of this split, and I think they kind of have to iron some things out of it, because this definitely wasn't super clean.
It wasn't clean. I mean, Toxie was good, but it wasn't a clean game. And, you know, we mentioned where Vuptrox are. I'm putting them as a solid 5th team behind our top 4. And after this game, I'm willing to keep them there. At least until they prove me otherwise, because they are a solid playoff contender.
Oh, yeah.
But if you are playing those kinds of games against EUS Anonymous, then I'm going to have a lot of questions when it comes to how clean are you going to be playing against those top teams.
Yeah, a point was made about the consistency of Vuptrox, and that's not something that I saw in this one specific game. Perhaps it was just this one, perhaps it was some others as well, but it looked like they kind of were running about like headless chickens from time to time. That one Baron buff that they got stolen from under their hands, I think, messed with their mental a tiny bit. Resulting in the second one being just as sloppy, and so there are some things that Vuptrox definitely have to work on. However, if there is one thing that they don't have to worry about, it's the team fighting. Of course, they did lock in themselves a composition that can team fight very effectively. They didn't precisely pull off the 1-4 style of play that we were expecting them to with this Renexion, but still, they just brute forced it, and it did work against EUS, but perhaps now I see why they are dropping games to some of the higher tier teams, like CBA, like Royal Reapers, perhaps even OG. I'm actually unsure. Have they actually played them yet?
I'm going to check
I'm
them
sure.
right now.
Yeah,
okay, you keep talking, I'm checking it.
I'll keep on talking. So Vuptrox game.
It was a week 1. It was a week 1 matchup, and Vuptrox lost.
Yeah, so kind of just proves my point. So yeah, Vuptrox definitely have to get a bit more of a clean playstyle if they want to be just focusing on getting picks. That isn't going to be working against teams that don't overextend. Miguel was the biggest offender in this case for EUS, who just stepped out of line one too many times and just gave so much gold to Vuptrox that it was impossible for them to lose that amount of gold.
Yeah, however, Vuptrox, they still managed to secure the win in the end, still solidifying themselves in the standings, working for those 5th, 4th, maybe even 3rd place in the future. Who knows? Yeah. However, that was the last match for the day, guys. So don't forget to follow us on Twitter. Check out our YouTube channel, because all the games, or well, most of the games that are unstreamed will be casted and uploaded there. Thank you very much for joining. I was Kachka. I was joined by Karim, and if I didn't forget anything, we're gonna wish you good night.
Have a good one.